Randy, what are you hoping for from Kessel and Lupel together?
Well, obviously they're offensive players, and we'd like to stimulate some offense from different members of our lineup on different nights. And right now it's been a challenge for us to get something going other than, I guess, the Kessel outburst in Long Island.
Can it be a positive to get players out of a comfort zone at this time when you're struggling and put them with players they're not used to playing with?
Well, what you try to do is you're doing it because you believe that what's going on can't stay the same. Just can't continue to accept, that some of the things that are going on, from an offensive standpoint, not creating much. When you start to look at the chances that you're getting, the quality of chances, and then when that starts to diminish, then you look and you do an analysis of maybe moving some people around. And Kessel and Lupel have played together before, so.
After a Saturday, in your mind, is this a response type statement type game for your group?
Well, again, we weren't happy with our performance, and what we tried to do is address the needs and the necessary things that we have to change. And obviously, we had to look at ourselves and say what we were doing out there, and that's what we tried to focus on. But Saturday is gone. We can't change what happened, and it's our opportunity here to start fresh tonight and focus on our start. That's the most important thing for us right now, is to get a solid period, a good start under our belt. We know Buffalo's going to come in. They're going to try and put pressure on us. They're going to try and pinch the walls. Watching their game against San Jose, what to expect. They're going to push 3 guys off offensive zone face-off losses. They're going to pinch their D-men. Their 4 guys are going to be up on the rush. So you know that type of hockey game is coming, and they're going to try and implement that early.
How important were the first 10 minutes for you guys to set the pace and not find yourself in a hole early?
Well, again, it's always nice when you play with a lead, and specifically, we haven't done enough of that. And obviously, we'd like to have a great start, a good start, and this game tonight, and get our forechecking game going, our skating game, because that's what we are.
Has something caught your eye on the power play? Maybe hasn't worked?
I just think at times we become too predictable. I don't think that the things about a power play, and we've tried to establish, and that goes back for years. The first thing you do is you try to establish a shot. You got to be able to, in a shooting mentality. Then you got to have net presence. You got to have puck recovery, and you got to outwork the opposition that you're playing against. So those are 4 points that are never going to leave any positive power play. Those are always going to be first and on the coach's list, I'm sure.
Will Carter Ashton get an opportunity at some point soon?
We'll make decisions, and as I always say about playing personnel, and Carter's been a great soldier. He's come and worked. He hasn't complained. He's done everything we've asked of him. He's even played defense in practice for us in penalty killing situations. So that's not easy for a young player. And again, we've got 12 bodies that we're going to put in our lineup, or we're going to go 11 forwards, depending on what we decide on. And we'll make that decision tonight.
Randy, it's a small sample size, but your team has looked more comfortable on the road, at least from my viewpoint. I mean, why do you think that is?
I've commented on it, but I thought it was between the years, and I'm not going to stray away from that. I think that there are certain things that you do to prepare yourself, and there's always going to be pressures that come with it. And I think as a professional, you have to develop a routine that doesn't matter where you're playing. If it's at home or on the road, you do the same thing. You prepare yourself in the same way. And right now, for our group, we think that there are things that we can improve on, and the mental aspect of it is huge for us.
What can you do as a coach to control that aspect of dealing with home versus away? Is there anything?
Well, what you try to do is you try to keep things as loose as you possibly can in certain situations. There's a time to teach, and there's a time to just say, hey, whoa, relax, breathe here, gentlemen. And we haven't done enough breathing as a group in this building. We created that mantra last year, and it worked for a while, and then it kind of went away from us. So what we're trying to do is just sit down, relax. We know there's going to be ebbs and flows in the game. There's going to be pressures that come with it. There's going to be cycles, extended shifts in your zone. If you don't want to take a penalty, you're going to have to do some of those things, but you're going to have to defend and get 5 guys back, and you see every team doing the same thing. They got to weather that storm and get through it. because that's not the outcome of the game. If you have too many of them, it usually affects the outcome of the game. But if you maintain some composure in those situations, then you get through it.